Hello and welcome to this series of podcasts by Vajiram and Ravi. Today, the discussion will revolve around that what should be the right main strategy when you have psychology as your optional subject. And for that, we have our esteemed faculty member, Mukul Pathak sir with us today. Sir, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Sir, it is really glad to have a conversation with you today, and I hope we are able to clarify all the doubts that students who are going to appear in the mains 2024 are going to ace it. So, not wasting any more of time, let's start. So, my first question to you would be, for those students, let's say, who are not able to complete the syllabus till now, what should be the plan forward?
Well, these days, not completing the syllabus is a very big sin.
True.
To start with, I would say like that. However, since the examination is confronting them and they have very little time, so I would say that they can go to previous year questions, identify the areas which have been frequently asked, and at least revise them thoroughly, and then hope that most of the questions come from these topics. And for those questions which are from other topics, they can use their common sense to answer the questions.
True. Sir, let's say those who have completed the syllabus very nicely, what should be the way for revision or what should be the way forward?
Ideally speaking, syllabus completion for me is when you have the gist or the essence prepared for every chapter of psychology, and that gist has been prepared after multiple reading of those chapters. And since the person has himself created that gist, so it is not very difficult for him to go over it in quick time. What he should do is to keep going over this information again and again, think of some of the examples drawn from real life to supplement the information that is present in those chapters. And last but not the least, make sure that he does practice answer writing also of some of the questions, so that the writing experience for him is not a first time experience in the exam.
Sir, we see there like a bulk of information floating over the internet, right? And at this moment, when students have very few days left for the examination, they get actually very greedy and they are attracted by new resources as well. What are your thoughts on this? Is this the right time to...
I personally feel that you don't need to read too many resources.
True.
Because you have got only 15 or to 20 minutes to answer a question, not more than that. So therefore, the logic is more than reading new material, you must read the material which you have already read well and try to think of the examples from your experiences in the world around you to supplement your answers. That should be the way forward. And trying to incorporate a lot of new information is only going to add stress on you. So it is of no use whatsoever.
Sir, you have given many topics, right? And you have also seen the answer writing. So what do you think, what is that exactly hook in that answer, or what is that special thing that makes one score better in psychology option?
In psychology or in general, answer writing follows a very simple trend. And that is that first of all, the sentence construction should be proper.
Okay.
Second, the gist of the question or the essence of the question must be captured in the answer. Third is important points which make the body of the answer must be highlighted. And last but not the least, handwriting must be legible.
Okay. So handwriting matters too.
Very much.
Okay. So when we talk about value addition, how can one make sure that they ace their answers with value addition?
Well, value addition is not possible during the time when you have 2 or 3 months left for the exam.
Okay.
Well, value addition, if it has to be done, it has to be done during the times of peace and not during the times of intense preparation. Well, for that, I would say internet is the best source to make those value additions. There are a number of sites for psychology study also, which our students can visit, and they can take information from them to make their answers more effective.
Greatly said, sir. So, current affairs are very important, right? So how can one make sure that smart inclusion is done in the answers or psychology optional?
Psychology optional as such has got nothing much to relate to current affairs.
Okay.
So there it is of not much help. Except the fact that general writing ability which gets honed when you write answers in psychology, that can be used, okay, to answer the current affairs questions also.
So can I get few examples, let's say?
For example, as I told you, that psychology has a touch of abstractness in it. Now, that abstractness will help you immensely, not particularly in current affairs, but in writing the answers of ethics and essay writing as well.
Okay, that is I would say that was a myth buster, because when I was going through this optional subject, I heard that current affairs hold a lot of importance, but thank God that you like busted this myth. My next question to you would be, sir, how important are PYQs? Like, and if they are, how frequently one should be practicing them?
Well, I would say, you see, PYQs are very important because they give you a direction about what type of thinking the examiner is doing or the paper setter is doing. So that in that sense, they are important. They will also give you a fair idea that what are the favorite topics of the paper setter. So that way also they are important. And last but not the least, some practices must, because at least it will give you the confidence that you will be able to complete the paper in time.
Okay. So you were talking about the favorite topics, right? So you have gone through like all the previous year questions as well. So what according to you are the major topics that are like frequently asked year after year?
Well, this is the world where artificial intelligence is very important. So in psychology, there are topics which talk about the interface between computer and human behavior. So that becomes a very important area. Plus then there are traditional topics like intelligence, like for example motivation, like for example learning, thinking, perception and memory. They are also very important in paper 1. In paper 2, clinical psychology, social psychology, abnormal psychology, and also applied areas of psychology become important.
Okay, that is very, I would say, a profound answer. So, when we talk about the test series, so how important are they and how frequently one should practice?
There are 2 things I would say. That you should not think of writing too many tests, because sometimes what happens is when you write the test, you make errors. And if those tests are not properly corrected, you practice mastering the errors. So you need to be very careful regarding that. All I can say here is you should think yourself as ready for the test series only when you have revised your entire syllabus. If not the entire syllabus, at least 70% of the syllabus. Not before that you should think of writing the test. Second, if you want to write the test, create exam-like situations to write the test. For example, in writing the answers, you should not transgress the time limit, transgress the word limit. These are the things that are very important. Writing the test in the comfort of home doesn't produce same kind of stress that you experience in the exam. So that is very important to note, that the number of words you can write in a single answer when you are writing the answer at home, or for even that matter classroom of Vajiram and Ravi, okay, would be far more than what you can actually write in the examination. So in my opinion, in order to have a effort at complete mastery over exam-like conditions, it is important that the 3-hour paper should be finished in 2 hour 50 minutes or 2 hour 45 minutes. And then only you can be very sure that the extra 15 minutes you have saved will bail you out in the tough exam conditions.
Definitely, sir. So, how important is self-evaluation, and what do you think, how evaluation actually, by self or say by friends also, when students do this, they don't involve any institution or any experienced faculty in that, and how it is going to basically make them lose this opportunity? How important
Well, I
is?
would say self-evaluation is also not a bad exercise. Let me dispel this notion that person cannot evaluate himself.
Okay.
In fact, I would say it is a very radical thought, but I will put it here.
Sure, sir.
I would say rather than saying doctor knows the best, it is the patient who knows about his body better than the doctor. So if you are a thoughtful person, if you are alert and observant person, if you can understand things between the lines, then self-evaluation is useful. But if you can get it vetted by an expert also, there is no harm in that.
True.
But yes, I would say at the end of the day, you must trust yourself more. And you must trust the feedback that you have generated about yourself through your own effort more than anyone else.
So I would say this was a very unconventional answer. So this optional subject, I would say value addition definitely talk about. There's not many days left. So what according to you should be the right approach now? Because time is very less.
Now,
Very less.
the approach is very simple, and that is one should try to, first of all, get at least smattering information about all the important topics. Second is, if possible, try to cover the syllabus in its entirety. You can have a degree of comfort going into the examination if at least, if not the entire syllabus, you have 80% of the syllabus covered.
Greatly said, sir. So what are the mistakes one should be avoiding while writing the answers?
Very simple. Number one, don't transgress the word limit.
Okay.
Number two, observe the time limit. Number three, understand that all answers that you provide to the various questions asked in the examination cannot be perfect answers. Even if you have written 60% of the answers as perfect answers, you should feel satisfied. And last but not the least, please answer what the question demands rather than what you know about that question.
All right. So when we were talking about test series, so how are test series conducted, or say what is the procedure, whole procedure at Vachiram and Ravi, and when are we offering that?
We have 6 tests, 4 regular tests and two final tests, paper 1 and paper 2. And the test series normally starts 15 days after the prelims examination has been held.
Okay. So your final advice to the students who are going to write the mains this
My
time?
advice is trust yourself, observe patience, understand that to err is human, to forgive is divine. Also make sure that you give yourself some comforting suggestions, put your best foot forward and leave rest to the Almighty.
So when we were talking about having the a catchy introduction, I do understand now, because your one-liners are really interesting, and I think one should have a cognition to put that in the paper. Sir, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a great conversation. I hope students are going to write mains this time. This will be a very quick video that is going to help you. I totally know that you're trusting us, and we are providing the best for you. So thank you so much for joining us today again.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you all. And we will be back with such amazing sessions again and again. Till then, you have to do just one thing, that is keep studying. Thank you all.